Let's go pour ourselves a cup of tea, or a spot of tea, for a nice cold winter morning, which is not exactly what I'm feeling here in Florida. It's an October morning and it's cool, but not cold. But tea works any time of the year, any time of the day. But doesn't that look I don't know, I was going to say refreshing. That's not the word. It looks comfy. Looks like a comfy idea to pour yourself a cup of tea or a spot of tea. A spot of tea. Is that how they say it? Anyway, this is another greeting card that I painted, and it is one of probably over 200 cards now that I will be donating to the church that I go to, St. John Lutheran. Fix my shirt. And they have an auction to raise money for people in need. And now after 2 hurricanes, there's a lot of people in need, even more than there were. And so the church people, the pastor, his wife, and the elders, and all of those who really do the good stuff, they have a real handle on how to distribute money and whatever they can distribute. So they distribute everything. I've seen them bag toothpaste and soap and washcloths and combs and food, of course, and clothing and socks and underwear. And I've seen them just box up 800 boxes. I saw one time leaving the church, and last week it was 200 going up to North Carolina for those folks who were devastated by Hurricane Helene. But anyway, all of that stuff costs money, and I don't really have much money to donate, but I can donate art. And then the art is auctioned off, and it is the way I contribute to what they do. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun if we all sent a card to like the recovery people and the linemen, and just said thank you. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a card for them, or a series of cards for them. But anyway, this is actually going to be part of my Christmas line. Does that make sense? A Christmas line. I don't sell them, but I'm donating them. But in other words, I've been trying to do a bunch of cards for Christmas. Yesterday I did ice skaters, and I'm trying to think of something outside the normal thing. Like normally we do Santa Claus and the reindeer and holly and Christmas trees, and those are all beautiful, and I'll probably do a few of them. But I'm trying to think outside the norm. So here's my tea kettle pouring tea, and that's outside the norm for me today, and I'm talking too much, aren't I? Let me show you how I painted this with watercolor, tiny bit of gouache to accentuate the white, especially where the water's coming out of the tea kettle. Let me show you how I did that right now. Okay, good morning. Let's get started. This should be a pretty simple composition, but I just want to kind of sketch it out first anyway, even though, it's pretty simple. You might be able to do it without pencil lines, but I feel like the pencil lines will help prevent mistakes, right? Of course, there's always mistakes. Sometimes mistakes are the charm of art, right? It's like happy accidents. That beautiful saying that Bob Ross came up with. So I want to do a cup and a tea kettle pouring water into the cup, because even though I'm in the process of trying to do Christmas cards, and even though Christmas cards typically have artwork that represents the birth of Jesus, or snowy towns with cabins with glowing lights on the inside. And Santa Claus, which I haven't done a Santa Claus one yet. And reindeer and all the holly, all the things associated with Christmas. But really, as an adult, as a grown-up, as an older adult, not just a young dad, but as a grandpa, how about I put it that way? There's probably nothing more enjoyable than being with the kids and listening to them playing and listening to them having a good time and perhaps having a cup of tea. I said all that just to say that. I'm trying to create a little story here. So there's the tea bag hanging off the edge there. We'll put a little, who knows, a little logo or something on there. And maybe some holly. Hey, that's where the holly comes in, I guess. Just little leaves on there. On the decorations on the cup itself. Just little decorations. I'm not really good at decorating ceramics, but then again, this isn't really ceramics, is it? There we go. There's a nice cup right there. And of course, we have to have the teapot. So there's the spout. I am a teapot, short and stout. Here's my handle, here's my spout. Okay, now the water coming out of it. Yeah, let's hope I get all this right. That's why I'm sketching it. I want to make sure I get it right. And we'll try to create the illusion of steam. Okay, little spout here. Get that spout on there first. And then that thing that goes over the spout, you know, the thing that whistles. The part that whistles. The lid. That's an invention that we don't ever recognize the genius of this invention. The person who invented the whistling tea kettle. That's a pretty important invention. You could walk away and let the tea kettle call you when it's ready to pick it up. All right, let's see now. How do I do this? Not sure. I am using a reference photo, by the way. I'm looking at a reference photo. There's the tea kettle. And bring it around here. A little bit more bulbous, I guess. I don't want to put a hand on it. I just want it to be pouring out the hot water to mix with the tea bag. That's a pretty amazing invention too, the tea bag, right? We don't even know who invented the tea kettle. Who invented the tea kettle? Should we look that up? It's a pretty small tea kettle. Either that or it's a pretty big cup. There we go. Not sure what I'm doing here. I am making it up as I go somewhat. Alright, now let's get a window in the background, because what I want to do is a contrast of light and dark, and then dark and light. So I want the tea kettle to be dark up against the bright window there in the background. There we go. And then this sort of reminds me of an illustration I did for a children's book. I'm trying to remember which book it was. One of my least favorite things about illustrating children's books is the business end of it. Oh gosh, I got a letter this morning. Oh, you got your account number wrong. Oh, we need to reassign something, whatever. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the business part of it. That's why I don't do it. That's why Robin does it. Robin does the business end. Yeah. But yesterday I did a digital video, which I took off of my YouTube channel because I got some people who were not happy with it. They just, I don't want to know anything about digital. I don't need to know paint by numbers. Well, can I tell you something for the people who really pay attention to what I say? Digital is not paint by numbers. I don't know what people think. Digital takes the same skills. Well, put it this way. The way I do digital takes the same skills. I know you can have shortcuts with digital, and I do use some of them. Trust me, when you're illustrating a children's book or anything, you have different assignments along the way, but they're all going to all of the people who hire me to do art. They all will have different ideas about what they want their art to look like. And now they have AI at their disposal, so they can send me artwork that looks finished. And of course, it's not really finished, and they don't want AI. They want a real artist. So I don't know why, but I'm not a fan of the business part of it. All right, how did I do here? Does that look like it's enough of a sketch? I'm about 9 minutes into the video. All right, let's give this a shot. See how it comes out. All right, where do we start now? We'll use some of these dark colors here. Take one of these pens. Start with some dark. Actually, I won't. No, I think I'll start with some background. Just some colors in the background through the window. That's what I'll do. I'll do the background window first. And I'll try to get it looking like a mixture of things. Almost like dirty water. Just kind of mix them together, let them dry that way. Just different, let the watercolor kind of help here. Just kind of let it help. Let the watercolor do its thing. That'll be good. That's kind of a nice way of kind of creating the illusion that there's light coming in through that window. So, do you have a favorite hot beverage? I have a favorite hot beverage. It's cold coffee. So, that's what I'm drinking. But I have to drink decaf, according to the doctor. I asked the doctor, can I still have coffee? And he said, well, you can have some coffee. And I said, what about decaf? And that was the magic word. You can have decaf. And it wasn't that bad. I seem to remember having decaf when I was much younger and didn't like it at all. So they must have improved the way decaf tastes, you know. But at church, they have a coffee thing, you know. And they have tea there also. And I always get tea now. I know tea has caffeine in it too, but not as much. I'm not a doctor. So don't take my word for anything when it comes to health. Don't take my word for anything when it comes to art either. Because I make it up as I go along. Somebody said to me, or wrote to me, that my approach to art is helping them stay focused on the art. And I took that as a great compliment. And I'm pretty sure what they mean is, I just do it. I don't worry about it too much. I just do it. And that might be probably the best advice for everybody. Just do it. Wasn't there a sports company that said just do it? Was it Nike maybe? Can't remember. Alright, get some of that up there. Get some of that water off of there. Just let it dry like that. That looks kind of cool. I like the way that looks. Alright, now let's get this tea kettle. What color shall the tea kettle be? Well, it's going to be shiny. We want it to be shiny, right? So we're going to take this gray and brown. We're going to just go ahead and paint it in there and see what happens. If I need to use gouache, I will, but I'm hoping I can do this without gouache. My stomach is talking to me. That's embarrassing. I don't know why. The 70-year-old digestive system is acting up. Yeah, we can get this. Is this dry over there? I guess I can get this over here. This is okay. The edge of this. That looks okay. I'll spread some of this around. Pretty sure that's a dark area right there. Pretty sure. It's the same color, but with the watered down effect. Okay, let's get this in here now. It's super dark right here. So my favorite hot beverage is coffee. Well, you know what? When I say favorite, that's probably not true. Because I do like the tea. And quite often I'll get tea, especially nowadays, and especially at church. I always grab the tea at church. And what's cool, we have a church service that's not like what you picture with a pew. We have that, they call it a table service. And in the table service, you can bring a cup of coffee with you. Yeah, so I do. Why not? And the music they play is more contemporary, I guess you would say, because they have guitars and microphones. It's beautiful. I enjoy it, especially as an old musician myself. I enjoy watching them. And then I learn new songs from them, because I wasn't really like the guy who listened to the Christian music on the radio. And I hear some songs that they play, and I never heard them before. Now I hear them all the time, but I'm saying when I first started going to that service. I'm not sure how that worked out like that. That doesn't look right there. I think I messed up. I think I didn't wait long enough for that to dry. Hopefully I can get this to look right. Yeah, let's get some darkness over here. As we work it around, try to get these areas of light in here. Yeah, there's water here. Very light. Fix that a little bit. Alright, let that tea kettle dry. Let's go ahead and add some color to this cup over here. And the cup is going to be light on dark. The tea kettle is dark on light. I hope I pull it off. Alright, let me do everything but those decorations. The cup's going to be light and dark. Yeah, so at church you can have coffee at your table. And some people even have food at their table. I prefer not to have food at church service, but I'm okay with sipping on a tea. It's kind of nice. In fact, I love it. It's my thing. The guitar player is is a very cool-looking guy, and he's my age, so he grew up with the same musical influences that I did. So sometimes before the service begins, he'll come over and chat with me about, I don't know, about the latest news about whatever rock star is making the news. And of course, rock star is an old term too, right? But any recording artist, and that's an interesting word, recording artist. So I think an artist is somebody who is very creative and very innovative. That's why I don't consider myself an artist. I feel like I'm really not that innovative. I'm just painting pictures. And so a recording artist, to me, should be somebody who is innovative with music, or at least with sound. And a lot of times, they aren't artists. They're just singers. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Or they're musicians, but they're not really artists. They're not creating something in an innovative way, or even in a I guess it is. They are creating something in a copying way. Not that that's a bad thing. No, I don't want anybody to think I think that copying things is bad, because guess what I'm doing right now? I'm copying a reference photo. So it's not bad. Just creative in different ways, you know. But I think the word artist is where I get stuck. You know? Alright, let's see if we can get that looking like water coming into there. I might need to use some white. Alright, let's get some of these decorations here. This spreading. That's okay, because this is a decoration on a cup. So it could be kind of, what's the word again? It could be abstract. Abstract is the word I was looking for. Okay. Here we go. A little bit of darkness here. There's our cup. All right, let's get some more dark on here. I saw yesterday that Jimmy Fallon has a new haunted house in New York City, in Rockefeller Center. It's called Tonightmare, or Jimmy Fallon's The Tonight Show Mare, The Tonightmare. I don't know what it was called now, something like that. And it was, you know, the haunted house, kind of typical of what the haunted houses are today, you know, with bloody stuff. And I guess it's fun for some people. They look like they're having fun with it. He went through it with Prince Harry, and Prince Harry looked like he was having fun. Robin keeps up with the royal family and all that stuff, so I showed it to her. She liked it. I don't really keep up with that royal family stuff. But not that I don't like those people. Why would I dislike them? I don't know them. I think there's a fascination I have with the fascination. I have a fascination with the fascination. I am fascinated by the fact that people are fascinated. That's kind of the best way to say it for me. There we go. Lots of different shapes and things going on here in this. Here we are. Well, shouldn't there be a handle here? Shouldn't there be a handle? What, I messed up somehow on here. I don't know how this teapot is designed. Oh well. We're just going to not worry about it. There's got to be a handle, but that's the back of the card anyway. So, I'll leave it like that. Alright, now let's get some darker shades around the window. The window has to be bright, not dark. So let's go ahead and start that. We want the windowsill. Wait, I can't do anything until that dries. That's a little bit too wet right there. See, it's all bleeding into it. That's what I'll do over here on this side. This will take several layers. This is going to take several layers to get this darker than that window. But that's the idea. The idea is to get the window lighter, everything else darker. And down here too. Everything has to be darker, otherwise you won't see it. You won't get the illusion of the light. Let's keep putting it in there. Just keep working it. See, this even has to be darker. Everything here has to be darker. Except for right here. The tea kettle needs to be the darker part. It's a balance. So just keep spreading it till it looks the way we want it to look. Kind of make it muddy. Kind of make it intentionally muddy. Make it muddy on purpose. Yeah, see, the window should be bright. So that's going to be a challenge to get that to look that way. can spread it around. Okay, I will just keep going back to it as it dries. Just keep going back. Making sure that the window is brighter than the windowsill. And the windowsill is brighter than the water. No, it's too wet. It's too wet. Keep getting it darker. So today is Saturday. Today, Rob and I are going to a concert. Robin's brother is a musician and he plays percussion. And so we'll be going to the concert. It's at a church. And I don't know what the selections will be today, but their conductor is a wonderfully talented guy. They're all talented, all of those musicians. Robin's brother's been playing drums all of his life. Not just drums, but he does all the percussion instruments, you know, oh gosh, I don't even know what you call them. The bells, you know, the vibes. The percussion instruments that have melody. And he's very good at it. So we were going to go on a road trip today too, but we canceled that. That's not going to happen now. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not disappointed. Let's see how this cup. This is like a real play in light and dark. I'm just see the window has to be light. I don't know if I'm pulling that off or not, but I'm trying. Trying to make the window brighter than the window sill or the window frame. And of course everything's got to be lighter, darker, I mean, than the water coming out of the tea kettle. And then the tea kettle itself is silver, so it's got to have that reflective look to it. I think I sort of accomplished that already. I think I could improve it. I think the coffee cup, rather than having a reflection, I think the coffee cup should have a shadow and a reflection. A cup of coffee? Would you like a cup of coffee? Would you like a cup of tea? If you have a hot kettle, a tea kettle like this for coffee, then you must have instant coffee. I don't know how you like instant coffee, but I'm a fan of instant coffee, especially nowadays. They have improved it a lot. Instant coffee used to be, subpar, whatever. But now it's not bad. I guess. It doesn't. I guess you can still get it out of the big old jar that you just kind of pour. But the ones I like are the ones that have the like little sleeves, little tubes of coffee in them. Have you ever had them? I like them when I go camping, even though I make real coffee, a coffee kettle, coffee, percolator. There's a great invention right there, the percolator. Who invented all these things? Do we even know? I bet you that sometimes the credit for who invents things goes to the wrong person. I bet you that happens a lot. Pour a cup of tea. You may be wondering what I'm doing with these strange colors I'm adding here. Well, I'm wondering the same thing. What the heck am I doing? I'll put a few colors in here because it should be reflecting some of the light that's in the room. Wouldn't you think? Yeah, there's some things happening in the room that the room has obviously a lot of brown in it based on what I've been painting. Here we go. A little more darkness here. I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just making stuff up as I go along. I do have a reference photo, but I'm really kind of winging it now. I don't even know what I'm doing here, making stuff up. Let the watercolor do its thing. Let's let the watercolor do its thing. What I want to do is get this darker over here. Okay, watercolor, just do your thing. Help me out, watercolor. Just do what you do. I won't worry about that part right there. So, all right, I think I'm going to, I still feel like I want that darker. I'm stuck on that. I'm stuck on that Band-Aid. Remember that commercial? I'm stuck on Band-Aids. All right. There we go. Just let that get a lot darker. There we go. Pouring tea. All right, let me grab some white gouache. All right, let's see. I get some white in here. Just add some white highlights here. Here we go. A little bit of white on that back windowsill there. A little bit of light maybe. All I'm really doing is creating a series of horizontal and vertical lines just to kind of make it stand out. little reflections in this cup too. Bring that across here a little bit. Some green in here. Put a little bit of color into that cup. There's a cup of tea right there. All right, I think I'm done. Let me spread the paint on the back of the card and we'll see how it looks. The ultimate test is how does it look when it's dry? How does it look? Spread this around. Have a cup of tea. Have a spot of tea. All right, let me dry it off and I'll be right back. All right, what do you think? Well, I don't know what to think, to be honest. Let me fold it and see what I think. It does it. I mean, it tells a little story of a spot of tea being poured. A spot of tea. Okay, well, there's our painting for today. And it is a wintry picture, because what's better on a cool, cold, wintry morning than a nice hot cup of tea, or maybe even coffee, which is my beverage today. My beverage is coffee. All right, I'm not unhappy with it. It's going to go into the auction for November 23rd at the church. Somebody will relate to it. Somebody will say, "Oh, I love my tea. Let me get that card, because that is the thing I like the most, is tea, hot tea." All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching and for your kind comments, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.